Well, it's summertime and I love to cook with the seasonal produce that's out there, especially peaches and berries. So today I'm making an old favorite recipe that I used to serve in my restaurants and dessert company back in Boston. I'm making a peach berry cobbler, and I'm excited to use Grater's peach ice cream. Grater's is, from all those Midwesterners will know, are so popular. But so many of my friends used to have it shipped down here. Now you can get it at most grocery stores and certainly at the fresh market. So stay with me throughout the hour. We are celebrating peaches all the way around with an easy but such a bubbly, good, warm feeling of peach berry cobbler. I'll be back in a few minutes to get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do is get really good peaches. I find them over at Yoder's produce stand. They're coming in and they're just going to get better and better as the summer goes on as we get the Georgia peaches. So if you can, what you do is you bring a pot of water to a boil and you drop the peaches in just for about 20 seconds tops, take them out, and that will peel off the skin. If you're like me and John Scalzi, no way, we don't like touching peach fuzz. It's really funny how much we have this issue with it, but that's an easy way to do it. And you can always use gloves. So you're going to take the equivalent, of a good dozen peaches. And if you're buying extra peaches, freeze them. It's going to be so delicious year-round. That was the great thing about being a New Englander. In the season, we would buy whatever was fresh, and then we put up peaches and berries and things in the freezer so we could have things like cobbler year-round. So with this, we want to take just about a tablespoon of flour and toss that around. That's going to be the thickening agent. That's all we need. So as it bakes, all the natural juices that come out just from adding the sugar, which we're adding now. And by the way, you can make this with stevia or Truvia, just so you know. So this looks like it's really good and it's ready to go. I have some melted butter that we're going to be getting to in the next segment. Now we're going to take about 2 cups of white flour, all-purpose flour, and a cup and a half of sugar. A little lighter on the sugar so it doesn't get too sweet. And just give it a toss. And then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And you can do this with all sorts of different fruits. And I used to in my restaurants, I would make apple crisp, but basically the same topping, and then the berry cobbler with the fruit later. So let's put that over here. And we're going to get ready to put some eggs in the next segment. I want to show you what's really trendy, and I found over at the Fresh Market, individual angel food cakes. These are great if you don't want to have to turn on the oven, but you want to do something like a special ice cream dessert. Just cut it open, mix the berries, and then I just take a spoonful of peach ice cream, and boom, there it goes. And that is just such a wonderful summer dessert. You'll feel like you're in Vermont. Come back because I'm going to make the topping and we'll get it in the oven. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Okay, get on your gloves because here comes the messy part. We're going to crack in 2 whole eggs, and instead of stirring it with a spoon, this is how we need to use our hands because we're checking for the texture. Usually 2 eggs, large eggs, not extra large, are fine, because you want to keep it crumbly. That's the key. Whether you call it cobbler or crisp really doesn't make a difference, but it sure does make for a wonderful topping. And how easy is that? Remember, we put the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, and what I find is if I use salted butter on the top, that's a good enough amount of salt, so you don't have to put the teaspoon in. So as you can see, it's starting, you get the crumble and you get light pieces and then you get a bit of that batter. It's going to be perfect together. Now the oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and whatever amount comes out there, that's really good. So let's get these gloves off, get the last of that so I can show you here. And then we're just going to top it with 1 stick of melted butter. As I mentioned, I use the salted because salt will help just a little bit in the balance. And then I have cinnamon and sugar that goes on top. Probably 2 tablespoons is going to be more than enough. This is going to bake at 350 anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on your oven's regulation. You're going to be just fine. So let's get this in the oven now. And There you go. You know, you can also make these in individual casserole dishes, which I really love because it just makes for a fun dessert. When it comes out of the oven, I have one that's already cooled. There we go. It is just so yummy. So it's probably about time to scoop up a piece, get it ready with a Grater's ice cream, and I feel an explosion of summer coming up. And remember that we have our daily contest on mysuncoast.com, so enter for the newsletter, and every Wednesday we are going to draw a winner for a $50 gift card. Come right back and we'll take a taste and finish up on this great peach cobbler dessert. Okay, we're done. A perfect summer dessert. Peach blueberry raspberry ice cream with Grater's homemade peach ice cream, which is a seasonal item, but they also have a black raspberry chocolate chip if you want to go really decadent. And a simple dessert. Get the individual angel food cakes, top them with the berries and the peaches, and a scoop of ice cream in the middle, maybe a little whipped cream. And that is something when you get home, if you're gonna have company, you can just whip this out and you're gonna feel like it's a restaurant dessert. If you want this recipe, log on to mysuncoast.com and click on the dining page. You'll get video, recipes, lots of different ideas of where to dine and what to eat and what to drink. And don't forget the contest. So I think right now it's about my time to have just a little berry cobbler and send it back to you.